Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom to everyone at home joining in.
And welcome. So good to see you. It's so good to be here. And let's begin.
Page 3, Kiva Moed. Sing for Shabbat.
Yalla Shabbat Shalom and welcome once again. And here we are, Breshit, Bara, Elohim, in the beginning, or in a beginning, God created. Those are the opening words of our Sefer Torah, of our Torah scroll, and I'm reciting them because that's where we are this week. Along with Jews all around the world, we have finished and we begin once again our annual cycle of reading the Torah. This is the first, dare I say, normal Shabbat in quite a while, because we've just come through our Yamim HaNoraim, our days of awe, and the wonderful celebration of Simchat Torah and Sukkot. And I'm often asked, Rabbi, why did God shove all those holidays so close together? Couldn't we get a break and maybe spread them out a little bit throughout the year? Why all at that one time? And it's a darn good question, and there really is no answer, except to say, I think it's good that they are a set and not just, a single holiday. They are a set of holidays, and of course, I've spoken many times about how the themes of the holidays are woven one into the next. And we need special times. We need days of awe, and we need days of celebration, experiences, Yotzei min haklal, as we say in Hebrew, outside of the ordinary, something that shakes us from our day-to-day complacency and the ways that we live our life. And ideally, these days awaken our souls. They cajole us to look at the world and to look at our lives differently. And hopefully, they allow us to open our hearts and to crack open our souls and to open ourselves to the possibility of change as we start off this new year on the right foot, and hope that we can become what we can become, that we can discover our best selves, our better selves. So with all that in mind, let's continue this first Shabbat of the Jewish New Year, and let's sing about the angels of Shabbat, the Sabbath bride that we welcome, that comes to make this day extra special.
We're on page 6.
As our service continues, it's my pleasure to invite Susan Shaw to come forward for the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles in honor of her upcoming 70th birthday.
We're on page 8.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu le'adlik ner Shel
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And we wish you a happy birthday as you cross this milestone into another decade of life. We wish you good health.
Sensational
and
70s.
many blessings. And our service continues on page 9 with the call to worship the Baruch Hu, and we invite those who are able to please rise, or to rise in your heart.
Bottom of page 9.
Listen, Yisrael, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Yisrael, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Israel, Adonai,
seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shofbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You know, this time of the year, I often find myself in conversations with students in our school, and oftentimes adults as well, about the conflict between religion and science. Because here we have this story, this narrative about the creation of the world. And on the other hand, today we have the Big Bang Theory, we have evolution, we have a scientific explanation for how the world came into being. And my answer, of course, is I don't read the Torah, I don't look at the Bible for scientific fact. And the two don't cancel each other out. They complement one another, really. And when I read the account of creation in our Torah, what I'm looking for are lessons about the world and lessons about humanity, lessons about living in this world with a sense of responsibility and meaning. That's what we get from the reading of Breshit. And there's so many lessons and so many messages packed into this one Torah portion alone this week, where we read about the creation of the world and the creation of humanity and Cain and Abel, the horrible first experience of murder, and the Garden of Eden and being expelled from the garden. I could go on and on. I want to give just one short lesson. So often, if we want deep lessons conveyed in simple ways, we turn to stories, and even stories for children. So I want to share this one with you from a wonderful book called Does God Have a Big Toe? Although I'm not reading that story. This one's called Partners. Before there was anything, there was God. A few angels and a huge swirling glob of rocks and water with no place to go. The angels asked God, "Why don't you clean up this mess?" So God collected rocks from the huge swirling glob and put them together in clumps and said, "Some of these clumps of rocks will be planets, and some will be stars, and some of these rocks will be just rocks." Then God collected water from the huge swirling glob and put it together in pools of water and said, "Some of these pools of water will be oceans, and some will be clouds, and some of this water will be just water." Then the angel said, "Well, God, it's neater now, but is it finished?" And God answered, "Nope." On some of the rocks, God placed growing things and creeping things and things that only God knows what they are. And when God had done all this, the angels asked God, "Is the world finished now?" And God answered, "Nope." And God made a man and a woman from some of the water and dust and said to them, "I am tired now. Please finish up the world for me. Really, it's almost done." But the man and the woman said, "We can't finish the world alone. You have the plans, and we are so little." "You are big enough," God answered them. "But I agree to this. If you keep trying to finish the world, I will be your partner." And the man and the woman asked, "What's a partner?" And God answered, "A partner is someone you work with on a big thing that neither of you can do alone. If you have a partner, it means that you can never give up because your partner is depending on you. On the days you think I'm not doing enough, and on the days I think you are not doing enough, even on those days we are still partners, and we must not stop trying to finish the world." That's the deal. And they all agreed to that deal. Then the angels asked God, "Is the world finished yet?" And God answered, "I don't know. Go ask my partners." And that's the idea, that we and God are partners in finishing this world that is far from being done and far from being redeemed. And that leads us to Mi Chamocha.
Page 11.
And we continue on page 13 with Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לתורתם ומגדולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות
we sing Vishamru every Shabbat, or just about every Shabbat, and right there is a lesson that comes to us right from our Torah portion this week, all about the creation of the world, and on the seventh day, what was created? Shabbat. And we continue now on the bottom of page 13 as we rise for the chanting of Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel. El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Michayei hakol, Atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chaim b'Chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechayei umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman nata lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. Please be seated.
So we have the 7 days of creation, or 6 days plus the seventh day, the creation of the Sabbath. And when we read the text of the Torah, on each of the days at the end of creating, God looked at what had been created that day, and Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Boker, Tov Ma'od. There was evening, there was morning, and it was very good, or then a new day. And we get from that our custom of beginning Jewish days at sundown, because each day began in the evening, Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Boker. There's a beautiful song that was written by a very good friend of ours, Gordon Lustig, that takes these words, Vayhi Erev, Vayir Elohim et kol asher asa. And God looked at what God had created, V'hine, and behold, Tov Ma'od, it was very good.
Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od.
Now we
Try it with us, Vayar Elohim.
Vayar Elohim et kol Hashem, v'hinei tov ma'od, v'hinei tov me'od.
Vayar Elohim,
Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od.
Now we sing, there was evening, there was morning.
There was evening, there was morning.
Again.
There was evening, there was
Now a little higher.
morning. There was evening, there was morning.
Again.
There was evening, there was morning. Vayivoker,
Tov me'od.
Tov me'od. Vayivoker, Tov me'od.
There was evening.
There was evening, there was morning. There was evening, there was
Hearts go together, I'll sing high.
There was evening, there was morning. There was evening, there was morning.
Vayerev,
Vayivoker,
Tov me'od.
Tov me'od.
Let us take a few quiet moments that we might turn inward to our own hearts on this Sabbath of new beginnings and think about what's new in our lives and how this year might be new and promising.
Adonai tzuri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. Oh, my rock and my Redeemer.
Thank you, Lindy. That was beautiful. A wonderful Shabbat gift for all of us. Well, this week, as I've mentioned several times already, we're starting once again our annual reading of the Torah with Breshit, which means we read about creation. So I started to have a kind of fantasy. What if in creating the world, God had turned to me for advice? What if God had said, listen, Jason, do you have any tips? Anything you think would be useful? And I might have started out with a couple of small things like cool it on the mosquitoes, or try to redesign, please, the lower back. Or could you make those little stickers on fruit a little easier to peel off? But I think that God would have said to me, I'm thinking more of a large issue, and don't just say to me, there should be no suffering. That's what everyone says. Tell me something different. So I would have said, okay, God, I have a process issue that I would like you to address, and here's the process issue. Evil is so much easier and quicker and efficient than good. You can have thousands of drivers driving on the freeway between here and the Bay Area, and it just takes one bad driver and ties up the freeway for hours. Or you can spend months and even years building a building, and the whole thing can come tumbling down in an instant. You can have a wonderful human being who is filled with so many good ideas and influences and experiences, and they're giving back so much to the world, and one bad virus comes and takes them out. Now that's a problem. I would have said to God, how is it that you can disrupt with so much with so little? How is it that you created a world where to do bad or to be disruptive is not only easy, but so much more effective than being good? Now, I don't know what God would have said, but what I want to say about that, first of all, is that it's clearly true. You can exercise and strengthen your body and get trim and fit and then get the flu and be in bed for weeks. All that conditioning just goes away. And that's what makes it so amazing that, in fact, humanity has made so much progress than you might think. We love to talk about how bad things always are, about how this world is going to hell in a handbasket. So let me be not the devil's advocate, but God's advocate, and tell you that although you might not realize it, human life has actually gotten infinitely better, generation after generation, for thousands of years, in spite of the odds stacked against it. Steven Pinker of Harvard wrote a whole book called The Better Angels of Your Nature, where he starts off saying, look, you're not going to believe me, but everything is better. Let me just give you a couple of examples. Global literacy rates. Do you know what they were in the 15th century? Almost no one could read. They were under 10%, all over the world. Do you know what they are now? Close to 90%. Average years of education in 1820 all around the world, including the United States, was 2 years. Today, the average worldwide is close to 8 years. Let's not even talk about lifespan. Homicide rates. Do you know that the number of homicides per year in all Western Europe from 1320 to 2010 has fallen every single year, so that the safest city in Victorian times was much more dangerous than the most dangerous cities in the 21st century? You're much better off walking in the most dangerous sections of Chicago or Calcutta today than you were walking through the best sections of Victorian London. But we don't realize this, and we take it for granted. Even things that are close to us. Do you know that from 1950 until now, teen births have steadily fallen? In 1950, it was 89 out of 1,000. Today, it's 29 out of 1,000. Global mortality rates for children under 5 have dropped in half in just the last 25 years. Income spent on food. It used to be that people would spend 15 to 20% of their income on food. Now, we spend about 6%, unless you shop at Whole Foods. Child labor. I don't have to tell you, all over the world they used to work everywhere, including in the mines, and now, with some third world exceptions, it's very rare. And the best one, in some ways, absolute poverty, which is defined on living on less than $1.25 a day. Over the last 30 years, it has gone from 53% around the world to just 17%. Now, there are lots of other statistics I could give you. You know how many diseases have been wiped out. You may be aware that war since World War II has become much rarer than it ever was in human history. Do you know how rare it is to have children who have grown up and never known war? Very rare. Almost without precedent. We know all of this, but you realize that it flies in the face of what I said in the beginning, which is that if it's so much easier to do bad than good, then how is it so much good is happening? And the answer is that human beings are doing an astonishing job of making their lives and our world better. Now, I know, and you know, that this can be reversed in an instant. All it takes is a crazy man in North Korea. All it takes is a rogue regime in the Middle East to get a nuclear bomb, and all these wonderful statistics will go right out the window. We all know that. But that's because of the principle that it's so much easier to do evil than it is to do good. So we ought to ask ourselves, how is it that so much good all over the globe has been done? And not just now, but throughout history. Why have homicide rates not only dropped in the last 20 years, they've dropped since Neanderthal times. Today, when they excavate ancient graves, when they look at the ancient world, mortality rates and homicide rates and rates of war, everything was much worse than it is now. And it makes you realize that all this stuff, education, attempts at spirituality, community, science, technology, literature, art, in some real way, it is working. And the reason I say that is because so often you will hear people say, why should I? It doesn't make a difference. But it does make a difference. When people say, why should I give to a charity? After all, it's just going to pay for overhead and administrative costs. It's not true. Yes, there are some charities that misuse money, but there are charities all over the world, and right here in Stockton, I might add, that are doing amazing things, and it's actually making a huge difference. The fact that child mortality, that extreme poverty, that those things have been cut is astonishing and remarkable. The fact that you and I live better than any medieval king could ever have dreamed of living. Have you been to those castles? Drafty, unpleasant, dark. That was the height of luxury. The fact that that is true is an amazing thing. And not only should we feel grateful, but we should also realize that we have a responsibility to contribute to this collective human endeavor because it's working. You know, there's a lot of talk and unfortunately a lot of misinformation today about the vaccines that have been created to combat COVID-19. First of all, let's remember, or learn it if you don't know this, that vaccines in general are not new. They have been around for at least 1,000 years. The earliest known were developed by the Chinese in 1000 BC to combat smallpox, and they have evolved and gotten better, always improving. And the COVID vaccines, which employ new approaches to combating the virus, as fast as they came out, are actually the product of decades of research on RNA sequencing. We now kickstart the body's own immune system to fight off the virus. And this has been a great collective effort, researchers all around the world contributing what they have learned for the collective good. I love it how often you hear in the news about Israel and their achievements in combating the virus, and they're sharing all that information with the rest of the world. You know, we sometimes get skeptical, and we feel let down by government, which doesn't always work so smart or efficiently, or by the advice that we are getting from our scientists who sometimes have to reverse course. That's what human progress sometimes requires. That's how science works, through trial and error. It's our expectations, perhaps, that need a little adjustment. So in view of the fact that it is so much easier to do harm than good, it's really important to remember how much good we have done. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is that because it is so much easier to wreck than it is to build, human beings have realized that in order to build, we have to work together. We have to struggle together. We have to research and read and learn and teach together. And maybe the disproportion of good to bad is what has made us good. And maybe God would have said to me, "Thanks, Jason, but I don't need your advice." Can you hear it so? May be God's will. Amen. Seder Kriyat HaTorah, we enter our special service for the reading of the Torah, and we have a real pleasure. Zoe is going to chant a few verses from Breshit for us. And so we turn to
Page 20.
Page 20, and I invite us, those who can, to please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato.
Beit Yaakov l'chuvad elcha, v'or Adonai, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of our God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Is that the new yacht, Jason? Is that the new yacht?
No.
Ashtoshadivarim, 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 Haodam, Haodam, Omei, Ashtoshadivarim, 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 Haodam, Haodam, Omei, Al Hatzara, Ve'al Ha'avodah, Ve'al Gemilut Hasadim, Al Hatzara, Ve'al Ha'avodah, Ve'al Gemilut Hasadim.
Please be seated.
The Aliyah is on page 22.
And let us join together in a communal aliyah. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach, Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayechulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'chos va'am. Vayichol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa. Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mecho melachto asher asa. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki vo shavat mecho melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach.
Yasher Koach.
Zoe,
Nicely done.
that
Thank you.
was gorgeous. So nicely done. And I somehow felt like you were channeling good karma. Beautiful. And those who are able,
We'll do the
Misha
Shabbat.
Bear first.
We're on page 23.
In the presence of our Sefer Torah, it's our custom to offer prayers of all kinds, but especially prayers for good health and for healing for our family and good friends who need our whatever strength we can bring to them. And those out who are joining us virtually this evening, if you share in the chat names of family and friends, we'd love to be able to share them in this sacred space. And on our list this week, we are praying especially for Casey Campbell-Shadman, Gail Weiss, Diane Dakin, Randy Watkins, Gabrielle Lopez-Smith, Rebecca Williams, Philip Blair, Leslie Hirschfield, Victor Altman, Susie Kritzer, Rose Machado, Phyllis Klein, and Larry Goodman. And I invite anyone in the congregation tonight who has a name to add, please say them aloud.
I add Larry Goldman, Larry Lang, Gary Klingenberg, Lila Arian, Diane Drillsma, John Moulin, Gail Brody.
Let us join together in our prayer for healing. And we add to those names mentioned aloud those of us here and at home who are in need of these same blessings for refuat hanefesh and refuat haguf, for healing of mind and body and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim, blessed are you, O God, who heals the sick.
Amen.
Amen. And now those who are able, please rise.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe ki lekachtav
נתתי לכם תורתי אל תעזובו. חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר. דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך
We stay standing for the Aleinu L'Shabbat. We're on page 25.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. The stories will be told of us when we are here no more. We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon ha'kol. Lateit gidula leyotzeh breshit. Shelo asanu kiguyei ha'arasot. Velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem. Begoraleinu kechol hamona. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
We always conclude by taking a quiet and reverent moment to pay tribute to our loved ones who are no longer with us physically, but whom we carry it in our hearts and in our memories. And so they continue to carry and to bless us. Yizkor Elohim, God will remember, and our hearts go out to Mary Ann and Steve Schermerhorn upon the passing of Mary Ann's beloved sister, Betty Fars. And we remember as well Dr. Howard Cass, the father and father-in-law of Ron and Louise Cass, and the grandfather of Elisa and Noah and Michael, who all grew up here at Temple Israel. May both their memories be for a blessing. Is there anyone in the congregation or anyone at home who is in either the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning, or the Shana, the 1-year period of mourning, who would like to share the names? Those who are at home, please share them in the chat. And those who are here with us, we invite you to please stand and share with us the name of your loved ones.
Herm Lewin.
These are the names of loved ones who have a yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death sometime in the week ahead. We remember with love Abraham Cohen, Kathy Lichty Heiser, Charles Price II, Esther Levy Bronstein, Lenny Berg, Esther Barr, Philip Bible, Gussie Rand, Nate S. Forms, Rose Balfour, Martin Morgan, Peter Merston, Corazon Zapanta, Jerry Kritzer, Richard Lopez, Madeline Schwarzenberg, Isidore Gottlieb, Edward Greenberg, Laura Sovell, Rose Karn, Rose Schneider, Sharon Marsh, Leon Brum, Florence Primack, and Fanny Miller.
We have Jonathan Evie, Bud West. I think that's it.
Zichronam Livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. And we hold it in our hearts, the memory of all those who have died from COVID-19 and for the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, so many leaving no one to remember them. We take them into our hearts along with our own loved ones who have died as we turn to page 26, and those who are able rise for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'alma divra cherutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say amen. You may be seated.
So I have quite a few announcements and good things that are happening. The Jewish Learning Lab for Kids is on fall break. Classes resume on October 17th. Would you like to study Jewish practice, faith, and peoplehood with Rabbi? How about ethics with Karma? Or maybe learn great Jewish music with me? Perhaps this is the...
I'll be there too.
Okay, you can come. This is the year that you'll learn to read, maybe this is the year you'll learn to read Hebrew or gain a deeper understanding of the prayers in our Siddur. Registration for the Jewish Learning Lab for adults is now open. Hebrew classes are meeting in person, but all others, for now, will be on Zoom. So even if you live far away, you can still study with us. Check your weekly email for more information. We've already sent out one e-blast about it. And if you're not receiving those emails, then please contact Karma. Thank you, Susan Shaw, for lighting the candles, and a happy birthday next week to you. Also, happy birthday to Mia Neustadt and Allie Baker, and Laura Utterback's birthday, I think, is today, right? And she's worshiping with us. Happy birthday. Thank you to Zoe for chanting so beautifully and helping us with the Torah. We really appreciate it. And thank you to Ari for all the magic that you do. We have an announcement. Mazel tov to Jory Gwozdov. Okay, it is happened to be the last name, our son Jory.
Very close family relation.
Who was named the first executive director of our Family Promise of San Joaquin County, our new affiliate.
It's official.
Yay! Looking forward to hearing more good news about Family Promise in the coming weeks, and we will share it with you as it comes. So mazel tov to Jory. And happy birthday to one more person in our congregation that's turning 95 today, Harriet Corin. And we want to say a happy birthday, and we have a special message.
I think some family members want to wish her happy birthday,
I don't know. Let's find out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mom. Happy birthday to you. Sending you lots of love from Denver and looking forward to seeing you soon. Love, Marty and Howard.
Happy birthday, Grandma! From all of us down here, we are so excited for you and so happy that you're celebrating. And we can't wait to see you in just a little while for this one's birthday.
Say hi, Archie.
Say hi, Archie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma. We are sending lots of love from New York City. All best wishes for an excellent day and lots of celebration. We love you, and we can't wait to see you soon. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Hi.
We're
So
in
here we
Houston.
are in,
No, I was gonna start. Okay, go.
hi, here we are in
No, I was
Houston.
gonna, okay, go.
Hi, here we are in Houston, thinking of you on your special day.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, and we both send you so much love.
Love and kisses.
Mwah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Well, that was really wonderful. Thank you to Harriet's family for that surprise. And Harriet, we wish you to 120.
In
and-
good health.
Absolutely.
And you deserve all the accolades and all the love from your family and from all of us here at Temple Israel. We love you. You've been a wonderful role model for all of us. 95 years old. And we always ask her, what's the secret? And she said, I've always drunk the water here.
The Stockton water. No filters.
And I just want to add that if you go to the Wall of Presidents, it was Harriet who broke the glass ceiling. She was our very first female president.
The last little announcement is if you didn't get a chance to catch our Simchat Torah service live on Sunday, just go to our regular YouTube channel that you went to tonight for the service, and you'll catch the service. It was really fun. You'll see 4 interesting characters in our Torah. that day, and we sang and we chanted, and it was really lovely. So take a chance. And now we're going to sing our closing song, which is on page 29, and Ein Kelohenu.
I
Die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadolenu, ein Kemokeinu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Kadolenu, mi Kemokeinu, mi Kemoshienu. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Elokeinu, no del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. Die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kemokeinu, Ein Kemoshienu. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. I die, die, da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die, 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 da, 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 die. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Shabbat, and a safe week ahead. Goodbye to all our friends at home. We love you.